All right, so today we're tackling the rulebook for AI. I mean, as artificial intelligence gets more and more powerful, we have to have a way to steer it safely, right? That's where AI governance comes in. It's basically the set of frameworks designed to guide this technology, and we're going to break down exactly how it all works.
AI is literally everywhere, and it's reshaping our world in ways we're just starting to wrap our heads around. But this slide asks what might be the most important question of all. Who's writing the rules? Who is making sure this incredibly powerful tech is safe, that it's fair, and that it's actually working for us? Answering that is the core challenge.
So here's our roadmap for today, broken down into four key parts. We're going to start with the big picture, the AI governance challenge. Then we'll dive into the three layers of control that really form the solution. After that, we'll talk about why this whole framework has to be a living system, constantly adapting. And finally, we'll look at what to do when things go wrong with evaluation and intervention.
Let's kick things off with the big idea here, the AI governance challenge. Really, it all boils down to a balancing act. How do we unlock all the incredible, game-changing potential of AI without, opening the door to massive risks for our businesses and for our customers? Now, the key thing to get here is that the solution isn't some simple single rule. It's just not that easy. It's much more like an architect's blueprint, a really comprehensive, thought-out, structured plan that guides how we build and manage AI safely from the ground up. So, what does this blueprint actually look like? Well, it's built on three distinct layers of control. Think of this as the framework that takes a big, high-level vision and translates it into the specific, concrete actions that people have to take every single day. Okay, at the very top of the pyramid, you have policy. This is the what. A policy is that big, overarching guideline that really sets the entire direction. It defines what an organization is trying to do with AI and lays out its fundamental principles. So why does policy matter so much? Well, it makes sure the AI actually lines up with the company's mission. It ensures you're following the law, which is huge. And critically, it protects customers. For instance, a policy would be the thing that sets the hard and fast rules for securing sensitive data, like PII, personally identifiable information. Now, the next layer down is process. So if policy is the what, then process is the how. These are the high-level activities and workflows you put in place to make sure that the goals of that policy are actually being met. It's the bridge that connects the big idea to the real work. And finally, we get to the foundation, procedure. This is the step-by-step. We're talking about the super detailed instructions an engineer or an analyst follows day in and day out. See how it works? Each procedure supports a process, and each process fulfills a policy. The whole structure is connected from top to bottom. Okay, so we've got our three-layered blueprint. But in a field that moves as fast as AI, you can't just build it, dust off your hands, and walk away. It just doesn't work like that. That's why you have to think of it as a living framework. I mean, the best blueprint in the world is totally useless if it doesn't come with a maintenance plan. This quote right here really gets to the heart of it. These policies are living documents. They are not meant to be written once and then stuck in a drawer somewhere. They absolutely demand regular review to have any chance of staying relevant. And that review has to happen on a regular schedule or a cadence. As you can see, it could be monthly, it could be quarterly, it could be annually. But the important part is that this schedule isn't just picked out of a hat. So, what decides how often these reviews happen? Well, it all comes down to risk. A really high-risk, complex AI system, that's going to need more frequent check-ins, for sure. Companies do these risk assessments to build out a risk profile. And that profile is what determines the review cadence. Simple, right? More risk means more reviews. And just scheduling the review is only half the battle. You have to have the right people in the room. I mean, look at this list. It's not just the tech team. You need leadership, you need legal, you need subject matter experts, and you even need the actual end users. To get a complete picture, you need all of these different perspectives. So that brings us to our final section, evaluation and intervention. We've established that we need to review things all the time, but how do we actually check the system? And maybe more importantly, what do we do when we find a problem? Generally speaking, reviews fall into two main buckets. You've got your technical reviews, which get deep into the weeds of the AI itself. We're talking model performance, data quality, the algorithms. Then on the other side, you have the non-technical reviews. These are focused on the bigger picture stuff, compliance, legal issues, all the regulatory requirements. Another absolutely critical strategy is testing. This is all about being proactive. It's about rigorously making sure that the AI system actually does what you think it does and does it correctly before you unleash it on the world.
So you're doing your reviews, you're running your tests, you're doing everything right. But what happens when the alarm bells start going off? What do you do when one of these checks uncovers a really serious, problematic issue? This is exactly where you need a crystal clear plan for intervention. You need to have these predefined triggers that tell you exactly when and how to act if an issue like AI bias is found. This is not something you want to be figuring out on the fly, trust me. At the end of the day, the goal is to catch and fix these issues quickly and efficiently, long before they have a chance to snowball into much, much larger problems. It's the very definition of proactive risk management.
So there you have it. That's the blueprint for AI governance. A layered system of policies, processes, and procedures, all kept alive and relevant through constant review and a plan for intervention. We have the framework. We know what to do. Which leaves us with one final, and I think crucial question: are we building it fast enough?